Hello everyone and welcome back to my walkthrough of Dark Souls 3 The Ringed City DLC. Alright, this whole section has been completely cleared out. Also, we helped Lap remember who he was, and now we need to get past the dragon. But before I do that, there's a path to the right over here where we can find a Titanite scale, another ringed knight who got a very decent hit on me, which I don't appreciate. Alright, that is enough. You've had your fun. Good night. Alright, anyway, below this bridge we can find an item, a dragon head great shield. And now I guess it's time to go past the dragon. Which, well, you're probably expecting what will be happening. Yeah, the dragon breathes fire and the fire is lingering. So we need to... well, we need to find a safe spot. Luckily there's a cave over here. Which was occupied by that enemy, and which also has a couple Titanite scales. Right, now moving on. Another round of having to dodge the dragon's fire. And this enemy dropped, well, some poop. Anyway, I'm not going to loot the items yet. It's a bit risky. It's a bit dangerous to do that. I'm instead going to rush to cover. And alright, here we arrive in this place where we can also find a crystal lizard, which is a bait as the staircase collapses. Anyway, over here we also find a skeleton, which is not going to be the only one. We are also invaded by a moaning knight. Right, in here we find a couple more skeletons and a lightning gem. Over here is another skeleton, and up there we can see the invader, which I will challenge in a moment. There's also a simple gem along the way, and there is the moaning knight, who looks very similar to Egon of Karim. Perhaps they are of the same order of knights. And, well, this knight has a rather large weapon, so it's something you need to be careful of. It hits very hard and can pancake you very easily. And as a reward for defeating the guy, we get a blindfold mask. Now, the reason why my charged attacks are not very good against the skeletons is because the charged attacks of this weapon are thrust type. The damage is of thrust type, and skeletons are resistant to it, whereas my light attacks are strike and skeletons are weak to that. Anyway, over here we cannot go past. The staircase is broken. We need to find another way, which we can if we turn right. In this room we find Lap.
Oh, finally, you've come. Now I know exactly who I was. And for that, I've a little thanks to be giving. Go this way and peek past the broken staircase. Some awfully fine treasures just sitting there all alone. It'll change your life.
Well, this voice and this attitude seems a bit familiar.
I've much to thank you for, so I'll say it again and again. Go this way and peep past the broken staircase. Some awfully fine treasures just sitting there all alone. What? Don't you believe me?
Let's see then.
Every age, it seems, is tainted by the greed of men. Rubbish to one such as I, devoid of all worldly wants. I don't know. Maybe it's just the way we are. I'll stick you in my prayers. A fine dark soul to you.
What a jerk. Anyway, here we are, a slightly different part of the building where we can find a blessed gem down here. And if we keep moving up, we find a room with a chest, and just to be sure, well, indeed it is not a chest, it is yet another mimic. Which drops a Ring of the Evil Eye at +3. Right, over here up these stairs, well, we cannot go here either. We need to go this way instead. I will come back for that item momentarily, but first I need to deal with something. Firstly, there are all of these skeletons. That I should take care of. And here where we exit, we can find a bonfire, a fourth one of this area. And this is also where we come face to face with the dragon. That we will need to take out. So just take the weapon, swing at it, deal some damage. Don't get burned, hopefully, in the process. Now, the thing about this dragon is it's best to target its head, as it takes double damage. And if not double damage, then at least much more damage than the rest of the body. The arms, the torso, the tail. And when the dragon is brought down to about 50% HP, it gets angry. And I recommend standing behind this rock for some time, as I'm not sure if there's another place that it's safe to stand on. Anyway, over halfway there, let's finish the job, put the dragon to rest. Alright, after taking the dragon down to about 15% HP, we can then perform a critical hit, which gets rid of the dragon. Alright, so the area down there is now safe to explore, which I will in a moment, but first I will cross this bridge, upon which there is a titanite scale. Then over here in this building there are some stairs that I'm not going to climb yet, as there is an illusory wall over here with one of these guys. So let's take it out. And behind this wall is another illusory wall with a large soul of a weary warrior. And another illusory wall with a lightning arrow. And that's it. 3 illusory walls back to back. Cheeky, I know. Alright, up these stairs there's another crystal lizard. This one drops 2 titanite scales. And here we arrive at this place, which what I recommend doing is going over here, as there is a shortcut we can unlock. A rather big shortcut, which connects to the second bonfire of the area, the ringed inner wall. Now, since I've taken out Midir, I'm going to go to Shira and let her know of it. But first I want to assign a young white branch in a quick slot. I will explain why in a moment. It might be funny. But hey, as long as it works and I recommend it. Right, I don't need to take out all of these enemies again. I just want to run past them and get to Shira. So up here I will start talking to her, and then I will use the young white branch.
So, Midir hath into the chasm fallen, still his voice I hear. The dark grieveth him yet. I prithee, put him to rest, before the dark consumeth him, and his vows are forgot.
So the reason I turn into something from the environment is because this guy walks all the way over here, and if, well, I wasn't a part of the environment, I would be spotted and I would need to deal with him. But since I was being clever, I don't have to deal with him again.
Just before the church of the princess standeth a tower, honouring ancient knights. There lieth the small shrine, behind the sculptured knight which beareth no arms. 'Tis from there one may descend the chasm of darkness. I prithee, put the great dragon to rest.
Which is what I intend to do in a moment. But first I want to recover the items from the 4th bonfire of the area, the shared grave. So let me quickly travel there. Right, now backtrack a little bit. I can also finally get this crystal lizard, which drops 1 twinkling titanite and 1 titanite scale. Now this right here is going to collapse, so if I time it well I can just jump over it. That way I don't have to go through the lower area, I guess. Anyway, over here where we found our dear friend Lab, well, he simply left his armor and left. You can also find some more of these guys. Now over here, now that the dragon is no longer burning the area, we can find a large soul of a weary warrior. Some more enemies to take care of, which unfortunately we are the ones that have to do it now. There's also some rubbish, which is, well, just great. And down here is another path, where we find yet another one of these guys pretending to sleep, and a couple titanite scales. Alright, now I will once again return to the bonfire, and I will now go deal with the dragon. So the fastest way to get there is from a ringed inner wall after unlocking the shortcut. And then I can turn left, and I can get off, you could say, midway over here. I am first going to turn left from the elevator and then turn right after exiting it, because I can drop and pick up a chloranthia ring that is a better version of the one I already have, so I will switch to that. Now over here from the bottom I will turn to the right first, get off, then turn to the left, and this is the place that Shira talked about. It has an ember and statues of knights, out of which one doesn't have a sword, which is a fake. It's an illusion. And over here is where we can find a ladder and an item. Now, you could technically jump over this, but I advise just hugging the wall. We can find Filianore's spear ornament, which is a Covenant item for the Covenant in this DLC. I will explain it a bit in a moment, but first, over here we can find antiquated plain garb and violet wrappings, and a summon sign for Shira, the one who asked us to put Midir to rest, and a way into the so-called abyss, where we can find the dragon. And from this place the dragon has nowhere to go, it has to face us. Now what I probably should have done is switch this ring to flame stoneplate ring, just in case I get burned a little bit. Actually I'm going to quickly switch to Ring of Favor and Estus ring. I will need a lot of health and a lot of healing for this battle, as the dragon is very dangerous, it's very hard. And like I said, your goal is to target the dragon's head, because as you can see it deals nearly 500 damage. Whereas hitting the arm, for example, deals less than 300, so about half. And I realized that no, actually it's fine. I thought I switched my Lloyd's sword ring, but I can see the icon. I have increased attack power, so it's fine. Right, so Midir, some consider him the most difficult boss, just because of the large health pool of his and the large damage that he can deal with every hit. But the good thing about Midir is that most of his attacks can be read in time and dodged well. So once you know Midir's moves, you can take him out without really any trouble, you could say. Which, well, I've already done, even with bare fists. That was fun, but it was a challenge, and to be honest, I myself was surprised that I pulled it off without any trouble. This when the dragon roars like that, it's actually a grab attack, and I might just let myself get grabbed by it just to show what it is. And once Midir summons this dark energy to him, the second phase begins. The darkness that inflicted Midir, he now lets out. And here comes the most dangerous move of Midir. This laser, from my health pool, I think it will easily just take... Well, the laser will take about 80%, and the explosion after that might be even worse. And I just unfortunately rolled into it. So, my bad. My bad. Right. Hopefully this time it doesn't go as poorly. Hopefully this time I don't make such a silly mistake. Right. Down the ladder once again. And before I drop, I'm going to make sure that I have everything that I want. So firstly, Ring of Favor and Estus Ring for increased health and healing. Chloranthy Ring for increased stamina recovery. Lloyd Sword Ring for some extra damage, and I will also switch to Grasscrest Shield for even more stamina recovery. And I guess I can put on a mask of some kind. Perhaps I will put on the hood that I found. It looks quite nice, it looks quite amazing. Alright, and round 2. Hopefully it'll be the last one. Firstly, the area is quite large, so where did I leave my souls? Oh, I think they are past the dragon, which is not good. Alright, that was close. His tail swipe almost hit me. What is this? Okay, this is this attack. This is not going well so far. Alright, my souls, where are they? Oh my lord, they are all the way over there. Hopefully I can get to them before Midir decides to ruin my life. Alright, got them. Once again, next to the fire from the side, then past the ray and to Midir. That way I can dodge all 3 of those attacks. And once again target the head. Now, ow. While you can target other parts of Midir, his arms, torso, legs, tail, they don't take as much damage, and Midir has a lot of attacks where he can breathe fire below himself. So if you are not in front of him, if you are below him, get ready to dodge a lot of flames. Alright, might as well. Hopefully it's not enough to kill me. The grab attack looks amazing. It was almost enough. Ow. Yes, I did just block his charge with my sword. It took some damage, exhausted all of my stamina. But it was a decision I made, knowingly and willingly. Now once Midir enters the second phase, I will try to ember myself, just to increase my health even further. Alright, get away from him, and an ember right here. What are you doing, Midir? Oh, I dislike when he summons all of those. I find it difficult to dodge all of them, and uh-oh. I wasn't really in a good position to dodge it, so I just decided to block it. Oh, not again. Alright, here we go again, I guess. Tickle, tickle. Besides, I believe the intended way is to fight Midir by being in front of him, as quite a few moves of his end up putting him just in front of you. Or should I say, you in front of him. And when Midir reaches about, let's say, 20% HP, you have a chance to perform a critical attack, which, if you have a powerful enough weapon, might be enough to just end the fight. If you don't, you will have to finish him off. And there we go. The dragon has been put to rest. We get his soul and Spears of the Church, which, by the way, is the Covenant for the DLC, and I will explain how it works in a little bit. First, I want to go back to Shira and claim my reward for putting the dragon to rest. So, to a ringed inner wall once again. Then I will switch from fighting rings to utility rings. So Slumbering Dragon Crest ring and Silver Cat ring. Then quickly back to Shira. Once again get the young white branch at the ready to transform into something that will not attract the attention of the knight walking up the stairs. Also, I am aware that I have over 1 million souls right now, but I think I have pretty much all that I need in terms of stats, and I don't think that I will need anything more, as I am nearing the end of the walkthrough. Shira.
My most humble thanks is thanks to you, the dragon I had knocked from his vows. Please, take this, the final gift of thanks. Now,
Titanite slab.
hasten on thy journey, but wake not the slumbering princess, as the fire waneth does she lie by the dark, all for the sake of man. My humblest thanks. Now, hasten on thy journey. Wake not the slumbering princess, as the fire waneth, she lie by the dark, all for the sake of man.
Well, unfortunately I will need to do that to finish the DLC. Let me first quickly switch back to the fighting rings, as, well, another fight awaits me. Right, once again, down here, I need to summon my ride. Alright, and here we are, approaching the end of the DLC. We can find a few, 3 budding green blossoms, and this ringed knight with 2 great swords. Which, as you might imagine, can prove difficult to take care of. So you need to be cautious. I am very glad that I have such a big weapon that can stagger the guy. Well, as long as it hits, that is. Alright, after defeating this guy you get his great swords as a guaranteed drop, and I also got 2 titanite chunks. Right, I will now quickly restore my health. And over here you can find a ritual spear fragment and a divine spear monument, which is the place where you can offer the covenant items to increase your devotion to the covenant, which I will explain in a moment how it works. But first there's also this item right here, a couple twinkling titanites. And we can finally make our way into this big building.
Unknown visitor, return from whence thou camest. The abyss runneth deep, by the king's decree. None may disturb our mistress's slumber.
Before I enter, I will quickly switch back to Ethereal Oak Shield. And let's go past the door, see what's inside. So, if we helped Lap figure out his past, we can now summon this totally honest friend and ally for the fight in here. Well, I'm not going to, I'm not summoning anyone.
The king's decree is no trifling matter. I, Judicator Argo, shall deliver thee justice. Spear of the Church, sworn defender of our Princess Filianore. Hearken to the call that summons thee. Make haste.
So, another summoner, except this one summons other things. It can summon a painting guardian, and it can also summon either an NPC or a member of the Spears of the Church Covenant. So this fight could end up being a PvP boss fight if you are playing online. Right, this NPC, by the way, it has three, I guess, ways of fighting. One is with two-handing the katana, which has some sweet abilities. The second way is with a bow, which is also where you can get a nice window to perform a backstab. And the third way is with a katana and a shield, which he can also successfully parry your attacks. Well, if your weapon is not too big to be parried, if you have a straight sword, spear, whatever, if this enemy has a katana and a shield currently, your attacks can simply be parried. And then you are vulnerable for a riposte. And the Painting Guardians can also buff both themselves and the actual boss, either the player or the NPC, whose name is Half-Light. Well, the fight is not exactly as thrilling as other fights in the DLC. It's just there. And after defeating the Spear of the Church, we get a Titanite slab and Filianore's spear ornament. A bonfire, and another thing, you can actually go to the Purging Monument to reinstate King's Decree, to re-enable the boss fight. Also, there's an elevator over here which leads up. I will once again switch back to the Grass Crest shield. I believe I will need it. And past this door we can find the Sleeping Princess. And we can touch the embraced shell to trigger a cutscene. Oh, Ashen One, you're so clumsy. Hello. I probably should have taken the hood off before the cutscene. It's fine, the hood looks cool as well. What's happened here? Well, I cannot give a definitive answer, but chances are that we just went into the future. This Ashen Wasteland. And we get a bonfire right at the start. Fine, I guess I will keep the hood for now. Now, if we try to go back, there's just rubble. We cannot go back. I will rest at the bonfire to restore my HP and Estus. I will no longer need the branch. And let's see what we have got. So straight ahead there is this
He's come to eat us, to eat our dark souls.
This poor soul, poor fella, bleeding out, seeking help. If we hug the right side instead, we can go over here and find a structure that is not yet entirely covered by ash. We can go over here to find, well, you will see in a moment.
I've searched for thee, dark-stricken creature. I am Shira, daughter of the Duke, descendant of gods, and trusted friend to Midir. At once, I am the honor of the gods, the glory of fire, and the fear of the dark. Thou shalt not go unpunished. Thy treachery, thy profanity, and thy shameless yearning.
So, Shira, the Knight of Filianore, is not happy that we woke up the sleeping princess. No, she is not happy at all. Alright, she is out of healing, so now the fight should be near its end. After Shira is defeated, we get her weapon, the Crucifix of the Mad King. And if we never spoke to her, or if we spoke to her, accepted her request to take down Midir, but didn't do it or didn't ask for the reward, you will also get the other items alongside the weapon. So if you never spoke to her, you will get a weapon, well, the crucifix, her chime, and a titanite slab. Right, if we hug the left side instead, we find this knight with paired greatswords once again. And once again, mark my words, this enemy is not easy. It can punish you very, very easily. And after you defeat this guy, you get a titanite slab as a guaranteed reward. And also a possible drop from this guy. I got a titanite chunk. Right. There's one more thing to be found in this ashen wasteland. If we go all the way over here, we get a cutscene.
still here. Hand it over, that thing, your dark soul. For my lady's painting.
We find Gael, and he is hostile towards us. He went to the end of the world to find the Dark Soul. What exactly happened to him, I'm not sure. Maybe he went hungry with power, maybe the Dark Soul afflicted him. Regardless, it's either us or him. And I've died enough times this episode. This, by the way, is a grab attack that looks like this. Which, you must admit, is better than Demon Prince's attack. Grab attack. I need to watch my stamina. I don't want to exhaust it and be vulnerable to his attack. As I just didn't roll and the cut grab. I'm sure it's fine. Alright, after bringing Slave Knight Gael to about 2/3 HP, we get a mid-fight cutscene.
Is this the blood? The blood of the Dark Soul.
The second phase of the fight begins. Now, Gael, to pretty much all of his swings, has an after effect of his cape also hitting. So here, pretty much more than ever, it's important to roll against the attack. Because if you roll with it, then you will likely be hit by the cape. Yeah, Gael also gets this fun crossbow, and after he's brought down to about 1/3 HP, the third phase of the fight begins. Okay, that one is on me. I just didn't roll on time. Now, whenever he does that, those dark projectiles, wherever they hit, wherever they land, lightning then hits. So you need to be wary of your surroundings, as lightning also does damage. Luckily it's rather well shown, so wherever those land, there is I guess a spot of light where the lightning will strike. And the Gael, by the way, can also use a summon sign to teleport towards you if you are too far away from him. Which makes it rather difficult to just run away from him and heal. After Slave Knight Gael is defeated, we get his soul and blood of the Dark Soul. And that's pretty much it for the bosses in the DLC. I am now going to go take care of the aftermath. So, after Shira is defeated, you can return to the place where you first met her, which is what I will do. I just need to switch to Silver Catering once again. So once again, the same route with Silver Catering. Just run past all the enemies, drop here, roll to the right, turn right, up the stairs, and the door is finally opened, and in here we can find Shira's armor set. Which is pretty sweet, because it's finally a decent piece of armor that doesn't cover the face of my character, so I can just wear it. It looks very nice as well. And another thing, what happens after Slave Knight Gael is defeated, when you return to the Dreg Heap, the old woman is dead. We can pick up her ashes. And there's also another one of these angels that is apparently connected somehow to this NPC. And apparently this one doesn't respawn. But it also doesn't reward you with anything of note if you defeat it, so it's not really something that you should do, in my opinion. Right, now let me also return to Firelink Shrine. So the item that I just picked up, the old woman's ashes, if you didn't purchase anything from her, you can give this to the shrine handmaid, and then you can purchase all the things that the old stone hump hag was selling. And also in terms of transposing the boss souls that I got, as I just unfortunately slipped and fell. So what can you get? You can get all the moonlight sorcery from the soul of Darkeater Midir. You can get Seething Chaos Pyromancy from Soul of the Demon Prince. What I did mention is that after you defeat Soul of Cinder, you can also get a Sunlight Spear, as well as the Firelink Greatsword, which is a pretty decent weapon. You can also get Slave Knight Gael's Greatsword, and you can transpose Soul of the Demon Prince for a Demon Scar, which can also be used to cast Pyromancy. And you can also get a repeating crossbow from Gael's soul. And another weapon here, Frayed Blade, the katana that Half-Light Spirit of the Church was using. And this costs the soul of Darkeater Midir. Alright, and before I finish the episode, there's something I can do with the blood of the Dark Soul back in Ariandel Chapel. And as you can see, the whole chapel is now burning. And if we go up the stairs, don't worry, by the way, this fire is just purely aesthetic, it doesn't actually deal damage.
Ashen One, that gift of flame has taken root, and Uncle Gael will soon bring the pigment. Pigment, colored like the dark soul of man.
Well, about that, I got it for you.
My thanks, Ashen One. With this, will I paint a world? Please tell me thy name. I would name this painting after thee.
You know what? No, I'm going to be humble. You name the painting however you want.
I see. We are much alike. Then I will name this painting Ash. 'Twill be a cold, dark, and very gentle place. And one day it will make someone a goodly home.
Alright, I believe that would be pretty much it for the DLC, for both DLCs. So, I believe this is the end of the journey. Thank you so much for watching one last time, and have a nice day. And goodbye.